welcome to the Lisa B Interior Design and Live channel, and today we have our wonderful special guests, Amy and Francesca.
Hi, I'm Amy.
I'm Francesca.
We run EFA Gallery just downstairs here in Zelig, and we deal with a wide variety of artists, some really local to us and some that have been collected worldwide.
So at what stage in your lives did you find that you was interested in art, and how did each of you start your journey?
Well, we both had very different journeys to it. We've both been interested in art since a very young age, but in sort of different ways.
Yeah.
Like I can remember doing art myself as a kid. It's on the background of all my childhood pictures, but I got into selling art more after I finished my university degree, doing a couple of odd jobs here and there, and then just sort of became sort of the natural progression of things of after doing my own art, but then working in some non-retail galleries, I then really started to enjoy the fact of like actually want to be working with people to bring art into their homes.
Yeah, so mine is very different. Mine was more drama, media, arts is what I studied at college. Then went on to do like fashion and textiles. Then had children, but it's always one of those things where I've always loved painting, always loved creating things, right like you, right from a small age. But then it's my art journey, like selling art, is very, very recent. It's like I saw a job advert with these guys, went for an interview, and that's it. Here I am, and I've got to say, loving every minute of it. That's it. I think you've just got to have a passion for what you're selling and know what you're talking about, and that's it.
So you mentioned before about the different avenues you've taken in art, which actually brought you to where you are today. Is there anything that you could recommend to any students out there, or anything like that, educational wise? What would you recommend? What would the next steps would kind of be for them?
Well, I mean, I think any education really, be it just your A-levels, or you know, whether it's someone going down a proper university degree or going off on different other types of courses, any kind of, it doesn't need to be a specific route to this. Any education, any background can help. It's all just about having that drive, the work ethic,
just being able to communicate with people, and like important. Well, that's it. You've got a stranger walking up to you that needs to know everything there is about this particular artist, knowledgeable about it. I mean, customer service is key, I think, in everything, and just being, I mean,
any life experience, like getting out there, interacting with people, learning, regardless of what it is, all helps with this kind of thing, because you can then empathise with the person you're dealing with and talking to.
Yeah, and like you said, communication is
massive.
Absolutely. I think if you've got no communication, there's no business.
No chance.
I mean, that's it. I mean, you've got all walks of life coming into the gallery every single day, and it's just like, well, they might just be coming around just having a bit of a nose. But if you're talking to that person and talking to them about just anything, from anything like their family life to the artworks that they're asking a question of, they might walk out that door and think, actually, I have that picture in my mind, I'll go back there because we were really nice people to talk to.
I mean, spread the word.
Well, that's it. I mean, I think as long as you keep up that customer service avenue in any type of job, not just this one. I mean, like,
so any background, any education, any jobs, like jobs that you're doing is, you know, when you're just making a bit of money on the side in education, like it all helps.
Definitely. Definitely. A nice question for you guys. So how do you select your artwork? Is it specific artists? Do they have to have so much experience? You know, how do you pick the artwork that actually goes into your gallery? Because every gallery must have kind of a style. You know, I mean, me walking in with my little painting, you know, you reject me like, no. So yes, where do you choose your art?
Well, it's sort of different every time, depending on the artist.
I mean, we do work with a lot of publishers as well as a lot of small independents as well. So it's like we get offered certain things. It's like, and we kind of go, actually, we quite like this, we quite like that. But it's not only that as well. It's like a lot of the publishers I mean, like one of our big artists, JJ Adams, he's very big in the art world, and we have a lot of clients on our books that will go like, when's the next new JJ collection out? When's this out? Have you got this picture? Have you got that picture? And like we can like go around and say, okay, well, we'll source this one for you, see what we can find.
Yeah.
So it's.
And he's very contemporary, and
Yeah.
we always try and make sure that as a gallery as a whole, for people walking in, yes, we've got some of our big artists that we know sell very well, and they're a lot of the times at the moment quite contemporary, but we never want someone to walk in and feel alienated, like
just that.
Oh, hang on, there's nothing in here for me.
Yeah.
Like we want to make sure you can see a bit of contemporary, a bit of abstract, some animals, some landscape, something very classic. We want to make sure we've got, as a cohesive gallery and an exhibition that we put on, that there's always something for everyone, be it price and content as well. So
I think price we do go, because we try and offer a big range of
because all the
price.
buyers are important, whether it's someone who's just got their first ever flat or something, want to just get their first ever proper artwork for the wall, not from maybe like IKEA, you know, like when you're finally like, oh, I'm just starting out on my like proper like home journey, but then you've also got the people through to who are decking out whole mansions.
With the art.
But both those types of buyers and everything in between are just as important.
Yeah.
So we try and make sure, we've got something for everyone.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I mean, I've visited your gallery and I think you've got a brilliant variety in there.
That's
I think
good to
you've
hear.
got like landscape, different surface glass
That's
ones,
it.
and then obviously you've got the oil paintings and things. So you've definitely got a very good variety.
That's
there.
what we like to hear.
That's what many people would want to know, and myself. So what is the price of really, really good art? I mean, from a minimum up to the most expensive that you could have sold, or what's on the market?
I mean, it's an interesting question because art is such a subjective thing. Obviously, you get people wanting to pay different things for different styles, but like good original art is always going to be the best. If you can get the original of a piece, that's always the way to go. And some of our artists who we've sold original pieces of recently, they can sort of start around the kind of $4 or $5 mark, but then when you're getting up to really incredible pieces, we're talking maybe 15, 16, up to maybe about 20 for especially bespoke pieces, commissions that we can work with between the client and the artist to make something custom size, custom content with the artist. Those are the real showstoppers.
Nice figures there. In the interior design world, we have like a trend that goes through the interiors, and usually our trend follows like the fashion shows. So what's on the fashion shows then comes into the home. Is that the same for art? Does art have kind of a trend, or is it just something that what comes out of somebody's head, and if it sells kind of thing?
In some ways I'd say yes, there is a trend, but in others not, because it depends on the person themselves, what they love to collect, whether it be a particular artist, particular thing. I mean, we've got like one of like the things at the moment with everything becoming digital and obviously with the AI and everything becoming really popular at the moment. We're finding a lot of the digital art artworks that are being produced at the moment are becoming quite popular. But it's not only that, it's like what the subject is. I mean, we've got a thing at the moment, we've got a lot of people coming in the art gallery, and it's like, God, I remember this from my childhood.
Oh yeah, the nostalgia trend.
The nostalgia trend is huge at the moment. And it's like, I mean, we've got an artwork of like, it's like looking at growing up in the 80s, and the amount of people we've come up, God, I remember that from when I was a kid. And it's like, oh, do you remember so-and-so, do you remember this? And then you start looking at, I mean, we've got another artist, Mark Davis as well. He tends to do a lot of nostalgia type pieces, from anything from like Alice in Wonderland to Snow White pieces.
They're beautiful.
But then he's got we've got an artwork downstairs at the moment called What Memory Remains.
Okay.
And
sounds interesting.
when you look at it,
We'll show you.
When we can show you when we're downstairs, and the detail that's in it, the more you look at it, the more you see.
Yeah.
So I mean, again, it's a digital artwork, and the amount of people that we do have come in, like looking at it and going, again, I remember this.
Yeah.
I remember that. Isn't that so-and-so from so-and-so film? And so I going back, I don't think there is particularly a trend. It's a lot of it's like aesthetic to your home. We've got people saying, "Oh, I've got a big blue wall."
So they need to
That
change
that type of thing. It's then it goes down to like, well, would a black frame look good on that? Would a white frame look good on that? Gold frame, things like that. But I do think it is just generally down to the person that's buying it more than a trend.
Yeah.
Okay. It's quite an important question because I know a lot of people probably think, why do people buy expensive art and things like that? So is there any reason why people buy art? Is there a meaning behind it? Why they spend a lot of money on probably something that somebody would be like, I won't pay £10 for? Can you tell us?
I think the relationship someone has with a piece of art is so unique to them. I think anyone that wants to pay a huge amount of money for a piece they have had some kind of emotional reaction to it, be it humour, be it disgust sometimes. Some people will be like, I love that because I hate it.
Yeah.
So, or beauty, someone just getting lost in colour, like, regardless of what the artwork is, if someone is like, I need that for my home, I'm going to pay an arm and a leg for it, even if the person next to you couldn't care less, it's because you've had that reaction to it.
Yeah.
And I think people always say like, oh wait, I could have just done that, like slapped a big blank canvas on a wall and done with a paintbrush, but you didn't, that artist did, and then you viewed it, and that person, and there's a relationship going on there, even if those people have never met. But it's just, I think it comes from the gut instinct about it, and it's different every time, but it's so unique and so special.
That explains it. Okay, so now we're going to go down to their gallery to go and see this wonderful artwork. So this will be the fun bit of this interview. So yes, you can follow us down there. Follow us down there.
Let's go.
There you go.
EFA Gallery, in which you can see there's absolutely stunning pieces of artwork all around us, and I absolutely love this one at the back. So I'm going to ask you ladies, you must have you got a favourite piece in this gallery?
Yes. Go on.
Okay. What are you going to talk about?
I'm gonna go for this one. Aesthetically, it's not my type of thing. However, the story behind Sean Durkin and the way he paints very Lowry-esque, that's what attracted me to his artwork. The story basically is many years ago, back in the 70s, Sean Durkin's father actually stole a Lowry painting from the local gallery.
Okay.
So Sean Durkin, as a young lad, walks down the stairs one morning. On the fireplace is this Lowry painting. Basically, the story goes on. The story goes on to say that the only way Sean Durkin's father would give the painting back was if the local mayor auctioned off his underpants. Not only auctioned off his underpants, but also made the gallery open every weekend so art was accessible to everybody. So lo and behold, the local mayor auctioned off his underpants. He gave the painting back to the gallery, and it became accessible and opened over the weekend. But the one thing with Sean's paintings, there's little things in there that reference obviously what happened.
Yeah.
Like you'll find like the policeman in his paintings. You'll find the robber as well in his paintings. Also in one of Sean Durkin's other art pieces, there was some little Union Jack bunting in the one corner, and one of the flags is missing, and it's a pair of white Y-fronts.
Oh, brilliant.
So to me, it's not something I would personally have, but my thing is I love the story behind art and the story behind why they did certain things.
And it seems very industrial as well.
Yes.
And with this artwork, I love this frame.
Yeah.
It's like modern,
Yeah.
and then we've got like the really old
Yeah.
frame going on, which kind of matches like this industrial kind of thing painting
that's
as well.
it. That's
So I can
really
understand
aesthetic.
why you actually love this, because
Yes.
it's quite simple as well, isn't
It
it?
is.
It's
it
a bit
is.
like something that a young person could draw, because it's very
Yeah.
straight lines and the people are very simple.
That's
But at the
it.
same time, I think because of this choice of colours and things like that, and the smoke and everything
Yeah.
else, it just adds that really unique
That's it. It
touch to
reminds.
it.
It's obviously the artist is from up north, so
Yeah.
you've got that.
Oh yeah.
He's a huge fan of Lowry himself.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things that I remember learning Lowry when I was at school.
Yeah.
And things like that. So that's when you look at something like this, being an original piece, you can see the brushwork, the little tiny details and things, and again, the story is what brings me to this one.
My favourites at the moment, I mean, I love everything she does as an artist, but these ones that we've got in the gallery, I also like, especially for a display, sometimes making sure to have a print and an original, so you can see the quality of the prints, but also sometimes having a print sells the original, because comparatively, you think that's gorgeous, but then having these beautiful original artworks, and I think I love Katie's artwork, Katie J. Dobson, for her colour. It is just, the way she uses it, I think is just absolutely second to none. She's completely self-taught.
And it's all this.
All of these are hers, so that's one of her prints, and then these beautiful original ones, especially these ones where she's just woven in so many little details.
You can see it here, like the skulls,
Lion,
and just
little
this little
tiny,
eye
I
as well.
think they're incredible. Little eyes in the centre of these flowers here, just the little tear droplets and things. Like, you look at it and you think it's just bam, abstract, but they draw you in. She's layered and layered and layered them. This one here, full of little frogs. And I think that, she loves what she does. You can tell it through this, just the detail and everything. You've got these shapes just emerging from out of the paint almost. You kind of feel them, they've sort of created themselves. And that's sometimes how Katie talks about her work, is when she's building up these layers, she can just kind of sense that, like, that needs something coming out there, like you just guess. And the negative space as well, I think, is...
Yeah, because I think that makes it, I think it looks very magical.
Yeah.
At the same time, do you know when you've got like this empty space, it's a bit like a cloud, like there could be more going on behind.
Absolutely.
Kind of thing.
And it's all kind of fading in and out, I think,
And this little lion on the corner, I like the way that she's incorporated this lion on the original art onto this as well.
And just the way she can use the animals in different ways. Obviously, a little lion on that one, and then that one where it's like, there's no escaping him.
Yeah.
He is straight on and central. He is an absolute showstopper. I think I just love these for the colour and the emotion they bring out. It's not just, bang up a painting in a little corner to brighten it up. You buy these because you love it.
Yeah, and I like as well how she's kind of, even though this one's the print and this is the original, but they're totally different pictures, but you can also see how exactly the same colours are used.
Yeah, you can tell they're the same artist, even though they're different. And that's what we like to see, is when we've got multiple works from an artist, we like to show their different talents and the different things they like to tackle with their art, but we also like it to be a cohesive display, to be like, yes, this is all from the same artist, even if they are slightly different pieces.
And with these pieces, how long would it actually take for one of these to sell?
Different every time. Some pieces hang around for quite a while, but these pieces were from Katie's actually most recent collection, and we do have another one over there, but it was because it was a sister piece to this one. We've got this one here because it has a lovely light from the window.
Oh, that is beautiful.
But these came into the gallery, specific, like the collection had just come out. We had a client who had just seen the little picture on Instagram.
Yeah.
Absolutely fell in love with it. So it came into the gallery, she came and viewed it the next day, and that was it, gone.
Right.
So some things sell like that because people just know.
I think, like you said before, if somebody finds like a connection to that artwork and they want it, you know, it's one of those, and it's like, I want it, to take it.
Yeah.
This is it. I mean, I had a lady just come in, just wandering around, was it literally a couple of days ago, and she's walked round and she's come here and she's almost stood still looking at this particular piece, and she was like, that has really took me back. It is stunning. And she couldn't, it was almost as if she couldn't get her words out properly, and she couldn't express, but she was just like, I can't, like, and she was like, it's beautiful. She's like, I can't find the words. But again, I mean, not just about Katie's artwork. A lot of people get that sort of feeling when they come in here and see whether it's
seeing things in person.
Seeing things in person. But any artwork that we've got.
We've had it before where I've had a work that's been in the gallery for a couple of months, and it was one Saturday, I remember it so vividly. It was the classic thing of like, you know, wait for a bus and 3 come along at once. I've had this piece in the gallery for months, and I had someone come in, go, oh my God, love it so much. I'm just going to go for a coffee and think about it. And then that half hour while they'd gone to get a coffee, that piece sold. They were absolutely gutted. But it's the thing of like, that piece was clearly waiting.
Yes, definitely.
It's meant to be what it's meant to be. If it's hung around for months doesn't mean it's necessarily a bad artwork.
Yeah.
It's waiting for that person to have that reaction to and go, that's the piece for me.
So ladies, have you got any exhibitions that are coming up that our viewers would like to know about and they can come along and visit?
Well, we're stood in the perfect spot for it. All these works behind us are from an artist, JJ Adams. I think we have mentioned him already. So he is coming to the gallery later on this month, 23rd of September, and the whole gallery is going to be decked out in his work.
Oh, nice.
So he's actually touring his new collection, which we are still waiting on coming in because it's been very popular so far. Brand new autumn collection of 11 prints. And then, whole gallery, because we've got our own private collection as well. JJ is actually bringing along his own arcade machine that he's produced.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So it's filled with his artwork on the outside, but it means that people can literally play to win one of his prints
So unique.
on the day. Oh. Yes, whoever gets the high score gets to go home with an artwork completely free, and we're also
that's a really good giveaway.
We're
So
also
guys,
doing.
come down.
Well, we also really wanted to. This is our first exhibition in this space. In the new space. So what we're doing is we are our kind of favourite picks of the local businesses. We are getting vouchers, gift things, all sorts of that, and it's all going in a raffle on the day for people here. Because we want to support the area as well, spread the word.
Yeah, it's not about just us. It's supporting the whole of Zenit, Big Birth and everything.
Absolutely. So we're really excited about this. His work, you can see from this the variety. It's portraits through to nostalgia, through to Time magazine covers with twists on it.
It's very different. I like the rawness of it, like with especially like this one here.
I love that. Very current. A lot of his work, even though it is nostalgic in a way, it's all current politics, like satire, things like that. Some of the pieces in the new collection, the satire is, you'll have to come and see them. The satire in them is unreal.
Sorry, I've got to point this out. Is this like the Back to the Future card?
Yes.
Literally,
that's it. Doc's Auto Parts.
Yeah, as if that was being sold on Auto Trader today. That's what it would look like. That's what it's called. The piece is called Doc's Auto Trader. It's as if someone was summarising that car for sale. That's what it would be. And all the little details you see in them, the little bits of graffiti, they all have got meanings and things. It's all just, you see things kind of hidden in the background. These are references to previous artworks that JJ's done as well. They're all, like we're saying, it's pieces that people love to get involved in personally. People have these reactions to them because they grew up with some of this stuff.
Like myself.
Yeah.
So you have such an interesting job. So can each of you tell me which is your favourite moments in your shop?
I mean, every day is so different.
Yeah.
Favourite moments I always think about when we've been able to surprise people.
Yeah.
Especially, like one memorable one pops into mind where it was around Valentine's Day. Someone's partner had bought their like dream artwork that they'd gone on about for months and months and months. We had it here in the gallery.
Yeah.
Big bunch of red roses. Like they knew nothing about it. They just thought they were going out for a day.
Yeah.
And we were all like waiting. We knew like the time it was coming in, such a wonderful moment. Things like that, because we are such a small team. And we really do, like, everyone that comes through the door, we're so interested in, like, yes, what are you here for? What are you after? What can we do for you? That having those, like, almost personal moments with people. Yeah. I mean, I've been to weddings and hen do's of my clients.
Yeah.
Like, it gets to that level where, like,
It sounds odd, but you have, haven't you?
Yeah.
I mean, it's...
So anything like that that's been those kind of, like, when you're actually making that real... It sounds so cheesy because we're not making a difference in lives, like, you know, like healthcare people do. But in that way of like, you've made someone happy that day. That's something that they're going to live with in their house, and they're going to have such a special memory of that moment. That anything like that, really.
To me, I just love meeting like the different types of people that will come in.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, especially being in here, you've got all walks of life, people that are just coming up just to have a wander around, people that are really genuinely like interested in art and things, and just having a chat to them. And I've met some really interesting people, like just being here, and it's like just chatting to them like for a good 20 minutes. I had a guy in recently that had just come across a collection of like old pictures of like Birmingham and Digbeth and things.
Yes, I saw some of that. Was actually quite interesting.
This is it, and then you start.
Would you make him come to the area and have a look around? Wow.
And it's made him come, and then because he was from here, then he was like, God, I remember this, and then you start going down that road. God, do you remember when the ballroom used to look like this? Do you remember when this? And to me, I love meeting people. I love finding out about their background, their stories, and just them in person. I think having this job to me is wonderful.
So what kind of services do you offer here?
Well, the main one that springs to mind is commissions. I think that's such a unique and special thing. For example, so this piece here, we actually talked about this earlier when we were upstairs, but I once had a lady see this piece, absolutely adore it, and all that personal thing with it. So we actually commissioned the artist to redo that, but with all her own personal favourites in. So it was a piece completely unique to her. She loved that image, but she thought, I can make it even more special for me by...
Just by adding in...
And that kind of thing. We work so closely with clients and things like that. We back and forth putting together a full brief, like see some of the terrible sketches I draw out, like I'm thinking maybe like this, and then vice versa with the artists. That commissions is something that's really special, what we always get to do here. But then we can also install artworks, we deliver all over the world. Sometimes I can even take them to people's homes if they're local-ish, because sometimes that's what someone needs, is just to see it in their living room and go, yes, that piece was meant to be here.
That's it, again.
So we've got all sorts.
Customer service and...
So what advice would you give anyone who's inspired to become an art dealer?
I mean, I'm sure both of us could talk for hours about something like that, but short and simple, I'd say get out into the world and just look at art. Different things as well, not necessarily just what you like or what you might buy at home. All art. Old art, new art, everything. Just get out there and look at it and absorb it all in. Like, that would be my main thing.
Okay, so you know on the Lisa B Interior Design and Live channel, we always have a signature question. I do like to put the will to rise. So, ladies, if the power was in your hands, what would you change in the world today and how?
You go first, or shall I?
Mine is the school system.
Okay.
Relating it to art and relating it to creative studies. I was never very good at English, maths, or anything like that at school, but artwork, art, drawing, anything like that, anything creative was what I wanted to do. Back then when I was at school, it just wasn't, it was like, no, you must do English, you must do maths, you must have this and this. And all like the art side, or like from drama, everything, all the creative things, it was like, you just do those for fun at school, rather than, to me, it's getting better in the school system. I mean, with certain things like colleges that are opening up now, like specific drama schools and things that are becoming more accessible for children. But I just think there's a lot of children that don't excel in like academic subjects that get left behind. I mean, they have. We've said this before, haven't we? Art should be accessible to everybody. 100%. In schools, everything.
You need to start it young as well.
This is it. I mean, if a child isn't doing very well at maths, is there a way that they can draw? They love drawing and everything. Is there a way that they can bring drawing into learning into maths? They might pick it up better. I mean, that's my biggest bear. I mean, my own children, some are very good at academics, but didn't like the creative side. But then some of them, like my youngest, she's not very academic at all, but she's extremely creative, loves photography, loves things like that. But at school it was kind of like, well, it's just photography, you're just taking pictures. And it's like, but this is what, take their passion, find their passion and run with it, rather than you must have English, you must have maths.
That's right.
To follow on to your answer, I think, as kids you're drilled into you that, the academic things are what's important. But as adults, what do we all value? It's the creative things. We save up our money to go to music concerts, to buy artworks, to do our computer games, buy computer games, to do up your home, to make it look lovely, to get that creative thing. Those are what we value, what we look forward to as adults. But then,
if you go to a farm, somebody had to design it.
Exactly, and but then if you stamp out that creativity at a young age by saying no, the only thing important is that you know how to do mental maths. It's like literally these days we've all got calculators in our pockets, even though they said we wouldn't.
I mean, where are we going to use Pythagoras' theorem? I mean, like in 10 years' time, I have no idea. I can't even remember. I remember that actually.
No, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. I want to thank Amy and Francesca.
Thank you.
It's absolutely fabulous. So if anybody's interested in any of their art pieces, I'm going to leave all their details below. So yes, please get in touch with them, and thank you all. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Keep telling you all, like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.